before we begin, take a quiet moment. Where are you listening from tonight? A bedroom in New York, a silent apartment in London, or somewhere far away where the world is just beginning to fall asleep? You don't need to answer out loud, just notice it, because the story begins in one place, but it belongs to many. Now, lower your breathing, let the noise of the day drift away, and listen. Rome, 1864. Just beyond the Colosseum, where blood once soaked the sand, where men fought not to win but to die well, a sound echoed that history never recorded. Not the clash of swords, not the roar of crowds, but the silver moon, the silver moon, the silver moon, a rhythm born to Rome. Measured, restrained, patient, a game had arrived in Italy that was never meant to survive, and for a brief moment, so brief it barely left a trace, Italy almost chose a different future. Italy was newly born then, not ancient Italy, not the marble statues or ruined temples, but modern Italy. A nation stitched together from kingdoms, dialects, and bloodshed. A nation still learning how to breathe as one body. The air smelled of gunpowder and hope, from burnt paper and fresh flag. Men argued in cafes about what Italy should be. Artists painted futures that politicians could not agree on. Veterans limped through streets that no longer needed them. Rome was loud, always had been. Vendors shouted, church bells competed with street songs. Arguments spilled into laughter, and laughter into fists. Italy did not whisper. Italy sang, shouted, and sometimes screamed. Men argued in cafes about what Italy should be. Artists painted futures that politicians could not agree on. Veterans limped through streets that no longer needed them. Rome was loud, always had been. Vendors shouted, church bells competed with street songs. Arguments spilled into laughter, and laughter into fists. Italy did not whisper. Italy sang, shouted, and sometimes screamed, and into this restless noise walked a man carrying silence. His name was Lord Edmund Ashworth, an English gentleman with a flushed face, a carefully trimmed mustache, and a waistcoat that felt too warm under the Roman sun. In his hands he carried a cricket bat, not as luggage, not as curiosity, but as conviction. Ashworth believed deeply that games could civilize the world. In England, cricket was not merely sport. It was character training. It was patience taught through stillness. Honor taught through restraint. He believed rules could replace chaos, that waiting was a virtue, that silence was not emptiness but control. Ashworth had seen empires expand with ships and cannons. He believed they could also expand with chalk lines and scorecards, so he wrote letter, carefully worded, politely persistent, to Roman officials, to minor bureaucrats, to men who barely understood what he was asking for, and somehow through curiosity, boredom, or indifference, he was granted a patch of unused land near the Colosseum, a place once meant for death, now offered to sport. Ashworth assembled his team, not soldiers, not athletes, expatriates, English clerks who missed Poggenty, a confused American art collector who barely understood the rules but liked the idea of belonging, a Swiss watchmaker who loved cricket because every movement felt timed, deliberate, exact. They practiced at dawn, when Rome was quieter, when the city had not yet decided to be loud. The ball cracked against the bat, a clean, precise sound. It echoed unnaturally off ancient stone. Tourists stopped walking. Vendors paused mid-sentence. Local boys climbed walls to watch. The Romans stared, folded arms, tilted heads, wine cups held loosely in hand. They watched the pauses, the stillness, the waiting. Sembrano pazzi, they whispered. They look like madmen. The uniforms were wrong, the sunlight betraying brave. Dive into this. Rome was a city of motion. Cricket asked it to stop. And then there was Paolo, a Garibaldino veteran, a survivor of revolution, owner of a small osteria near the field. Paolo had marched for Italy, bled for it, shouted its name into smoke and fire. His body carried scars that no game could explain. To Paolo, cricket was not strange. It was insulting. We have Calcio, he said, slamming his mug on the table. A game of sweat, of fury, of heart. Not this polite boredom. Ashworth tried to explain. Strategy, discipline, honor. He placed the bat in Paolo's hands, showed him the perfect forward defense. Paolo smiled, then dipped the bat into a pot of simmering rabu and stirred. Laughter exploded through the osteria. The message was clear. Still, the match was scheduled. British sailors arrived in uniform. A small crowd gathered, curious, amused, skeptical. The pitch was marked, the wickets placed. Ashworth adjusted his collar. The first ball was bowled. And then chaos. Street boys stole the ball, mistaking it for a melon. They ran laughing, vanishing into alleys. Powell, drunk on wine and pride, seized the moment. He marked a rough pitch beside the field. Boots replaced bats. Shouts replaced silence. Calcio erupted. The crowd turned. Cricket waited. Calcio burned. Ashworth stood frozen. The whispers of wickets were swallowed by roars. Rome had chosen. By sunset, the field was empty. Ashworth packed his belongings slowly. The bat felt heavier now. Less like a symbol, more like a burden. He did not fail because cricket was flawed. He failed because Italy already knew who it was. Near the Colosseum, the ground returned to silence. No plaques, no records, no memory, only an echo of a game that almost existed. Some histories are written in ink, others are erased by passion. And this one was never meant to survive. If you're still listening, wherever you are in the world, thank you for sharing this quiet moment. And when the night grows loud again, remember, some whispers are only meant to be heard once.